By the early 60s, the opposing forces of race relations in the country were about to come to a head. The strategy of nonviolent civil disobedience, as championed by Dr. Martin Luther King, had now taken center stage. Mass demonstrations were held throughout the country to bring attention to the plight of the Negro. And Mildred Brown and the Star were in the middle of it all.
Well, could you get the true story during the civil rights days? Could you get a true story from a white newspaper? No. You couldn't get that from television, radio, or anything like you would from your black newspaper. And so therefore this was essential part of the fight, because those who were going to perpetuate this racial thing, injustice, knew that they had a paper to fight for.
The Star kept the public informed, and its editorial page reflected the attitudes and aspirations of the African American community. As for Mildred, she just continued doing what she could do like no other, selling papers and building bridges. By the mid to late 60s, when the heat of the summer flared and patience waned, lawlessness and rioting erupted in urban communities nationwide, including Omaha. The Star called for level heads and an end to the destruction.
She was militant in that she was persistent in fighting for the cause. She wasn't a firebrand, flexing her muscles and going to do this and do that. But what needed to be done, she did it through the medium of this newspaper.
Although Mildred Brown mingled with the powerful and famous, she lived a very modest, unassuming life.
In fact, she sacrificed, in many cases, lots of money to act as champion of her people. If she'd have been what we call a person that sold out, she would have been even wealthier than she was.
This woman who rubbed shoulders with the most influential people of the late 20th century maintained a small, modest apartment at the rear of the Omaha Star building. It was there she lived her life, and it was there she died in 1989.